Hey guys, welcome back to the Mina Does Art Stuff YouTube channel. My name is Mina and on this channel we do art stuff. So today I have a little combo vlog and haul video for you guys. And so we're going to start with the vlog section. I just thought I'd do a little preamble explanation about what the vlog's about, etc. And so essentially this past weekend, so 14th and 15th of October, which is, I'm filming this on the 17th, my older daughter and I took a weekend trip up to London, just the two of us. It's something I'd been promising to do with her for a while, and we had a couple of things on our list of things that we wanted to get done. The first was we were going to go to a couple of different art shops in London, and secondly I promised I would take her to the National Gallery where we would go look around at the different paintings and then maybe sit and sketch a couple of paintings while we were there as well. We ended up doing a few other things over the course of the weekend, but I really just filmed the Saturday, which was the first day, where we ended up going to 3 different art shops, and we went to the National Gallery, and we also actually did another little exhibit thing that we sort of stumbled across. And yeah, so you'll see some footage of that in a bit. I've mostly set it to music with some descriptions on the screen, so if you want to know what's happening, make sure you look at the screen, and then we'll come back and I'll do the art haul. So the shops that we went to, and you'll see these in the video, we went to Jackson's Art first. Then it's my first time actually having been to Jackson's Art in person, so that was really fun. Then we went to Choosing Keeping, and finally we went to London Graphics Centre. And then we also, the other exhibit place that we went to is called the Now Building. It's just outside Tottenham Court Road train station in London. If you're in the area, definitely check it out. And it's a free exhibit to the public, and they had 3 different digital installations that they were sort of cycling through. One was like a space themed one, then there was a one that was sponsored by the airline Cathay Pacific, so it was like around the world type one, and then the last one, which was the main one we were there for, I think it was called the Butterfly Walk. I'll leave a link to the website below if you want to check it out. It was really fun. We had a really good time with that, and definitely worth checking out if you're in London in the area of Tottenham Court Road. And yeah, all right, so that's just a brief little explanation as to what we got up to, and I'm going to roll the footage now for the vlog, and then I'll see you back here for the haul video at the end. So back now. I thought I would quickly go through what I got rather, and then we'll do some swatching as well. So from Jackson's Art, I'm just looking around making sure I haven't forgotten anything. From Jackson's Art, I bought 7 of the Caran d'Ache Luminance coloured pencils. These are actually on sale at the moment, or they were on sale last week. I think that sale's finished now, but they were still on sale over the weekend, so I got the discount in store as well, which was nice. So the colours I got were Pink White, number 581, Indian Yellow 523, Scarlet 070, Dark Sap Green 739, French Grey 10% 802, Light Aubergine 095, and Middle Verdigris 713. So those were the 7 pencils I picked up. I picked up 3 watercolours as well. I picked up the Schmincke Horadam Shire Blue, Daniel Smith Quinacridone Sienna, and the Michael Harding Olive Green. And actually the palette I picked up from Flying Tiger, which is a it's a store mostly, I think, in Europe, and I believe they're from the Netherlands. I might be mistaken. I'm trying to see now, where is it from? Cope, Denmark. So the Danish company. This is what I picked. Sorry, this is what I actually picked up. It's a mixing palette with these 3 really naff paintbrushes, but it was mostly for the mixing palette. It's a ceramic mixing palette, really nice and weighty, and it was only £5, so I thought it was a nice little one for on the desk for mixing, for squeezing out a few paints, etc. And yeah, so here I have the 3 paints I got in tubes squeezed out, so we'll swatch those in a bit as well. I also picked up 4 of the Roman Schmall watercolours. I picked up Quinacridone Red, which is number 331, and that's PV19. I picked up Chromium Green Oxide, that's number 229, and that's PG17. I picked up the Perylene Red Deep, which is number 375. This is one of the newer colours, and that's PR179. And I also picked up Ginger Red, which is number 368, and that's PR290. So that's what I got from Jackson's. Then from Choosing Keeping, I picked up this set, the 1940s set of the traditional Japanese retro Gansai paints. So these are very similar to like the Kuretake Gansai paints, the same sort of pans, etc. It's just made by a different company, I guess. And this is the 1940s set, so we'll swatch that out on the card in a moment as well. And then from London Graphics Centre, I picked up this Royal Talens Art Creation Sketchbook, and this glue pen. This literally looks like a ballpoint pen, but it has glue that comes out the end. My daughter and I decided to do a little scrapbook collage page in our sketchbooks from Jackson's. I bought her one of the Jackson's Art own brand sketchbooks for her to do her sketching in over the weekend, and we wanted to stick some stuff in, so I picked this up at London Graphics Centre for that purpose. But it's been kind of handy, so I wanted to share that as well. And then this sketchbook is the same as the other sketchbooks that Royal Talens do, so it's got a fun cover pattern on it instead of a plain colour. But the other, the ones that you may be more used to, have this sort of off-white cream coloured paper on the inside, whereas this version has a bright white paper. So I'll show you the difference. So I thought that would be interesting to try out. It's the exact same paper. It is £94, 140 GSM, 80 sheets, and this is the 12 by 12 centimeters, or the 4.7 by 4.7 inches. So acid-free paper, works really well with all kinds of media. And yeah, so once I've done with the red one, I've already started this one, I'll move on to this one afterwards. But I opened it just so I could show you that the paper in this one is white compared to the off-white of the other one. So I wanted to try that out and see how I like it. I also like the pattern, the decoration on the cover of this one. So that's that. Okay, so I'm going to unwrap these and then we're going to come back and do some swatching. First up we have Shire Blue. This is the one of the Schmincke super granulation colours. It's made up of PY 159, sorry, which is their volcano yellow colour, PB 29 ultramarine blue, and PG 26, which is a cobalt green colour. You can already see that colour separation happening in there. Next up we have Quinacridone Sienna from Daniel Smith. This is a colour I've been intrigued by and very interested. I've been hearing a lot about it recently. It is made up of PR 209, which is a pigment that's becoming discontinued soon. PO 48, another one that's being discontinued soon, which is Quinacridone Burnt Sienna, and PY 150 Nickel Azo Yellow. So PO 48 and PY 150 is Daniel Smith's combination for Quinacridone Gold, plus the PO 209, which is Daniel Smith's Quinacridone Burnt Scarlet. I'm trying to remember all the names. And so I thought it would be an interesting colour, and yes, it is a very beautiful, bright yet somewhat muted orange colour, which is really pretty. And then lastly we have Michael Harding's Olive Green, which is a mix of PR 101, PY 180, which is, they call that one Yellow Lake. PY 180, it's not a pigment I've come across in other brands. And PB 15:3, which is Phthalo Green Blue Shade. So those are those three colours. Then we have the Roman Schmall colours. First up we have Ginger Red, which is PR 290. Again, this is a somewhat unique pigment. I've not come across this colour in other brands. It's almost like a very orangey earth red colour, like a very, it reminds me a lot of like a orange version of like an Indian red in terms of its opacity and like thick creaminess of the colour of the paint. Okay, then we have Quinacridone Red, which is PV 19. That's a very pretty sort of bubblegum pink kind of colour. It's different to other Quinacridone Reds that I've used. Definitely has a very pink leaning tone to it. Next up we have Perylene Red Deep, which is PR 179. It's the same pigment as Perylene Red, but this is definitely a deeper, more sort of Bordeaux red wine type colour. Be interesting to see how this one dries. And then we have Chromium Green Oxide, or Chromium Oxide Green, PG 17. This is quite an opaque granulating colour. Okay, and then we'll do the pencils, and then I'll swatch the Gansai paints on the little swatch card that came with that set. Alright, so first up we have Pink White. I'll hold up the swatches at the end so you can have a closer look. Then we have French Grey 10%. We have Indian Yellow. This is the only one that I sort of somewhat regret, and you'll see why. It's very grainy, and even when you look at the pencil you can see that it's not, the colour doesn't seem to be completely blended. So I'm actually a little bit annoyed at myself that I didn't notice this before purchasing the pencil, because otherwise I would have not bought it. I'll see if I can show you. I'm not sure how clearly you can see that on camera, but you can see the different like specks of colour on the pencil, and that's not because it's picked up other colours, that is just within the lead itself, and it comes across really scratchy and patchy on the paper as well. And then we have Scarlet, Light Aubergine, which is a really nice dusty sort of mauve type colour. We have Dark Sap Green, which is an interesting colour because I also have Dark Phthalo Green, and I would almost think of this one as being a Dark Phthalo Green colour, and then the one they call Dark Phthalo Green is what I would consider to be more like a Dark Sap Green. Let's see if I can find it quickly here to show you. Yeah, so this is Dark Phthalo Green that I'm doing on the side here. And to me this reads as more of a dark, I'll show you up close again. Right now they both look quite dark on camera. Then we have Middle Verdigris, which is the last one. It's a lovely sort of minty sage green colour. Okay, show you these pencils up close. So there we have Pink White, which is a nice sort of warm off-white colour. Then we have French Grey 10%. You can see that sort of scratchiness of that Indian yellow. As much as I don't like it, I can definitely find a use for that sort of texture, which could be interesting. We have the Scarlet, the Light Aubergine, and then this here is the Dark Sap Green. But I don't know if you can see what I mean. Like this reads more bluish, like a phthalo green. And this reads more like a warmer green. So I would almost say this is more of a true Dark Sap Green. This would be more of a Dark Phthalo Green to my eyes, and in terms of how I would name it. But they have it the other way around. And then finally the Middle Verdigris. And then the watercolour swatches, you can see that lovely granulation and separation in that Shire Blue already, even though it's not completely dry. And the quinacridone Sienna and the Olive Green. And then finally the Roman Schmall Ginger Red, quinacridone Red, that Perylene Red Deep, even though it's not completely dry yet, is pretty. And the Chromium Green Oxide. You can see that granulation in the wash there as well of that one. Okay, and these were all swatched in my Artway Indigo, Artway Tree Free sketchbook, internally sized acid free. This is, it's actually cotton rag paper, so it's really good for swatching on as well. It's maybe not the best for painting on, but it's great for swatching and testing out supplies. Okay, and then finally, let's move these out of the way. We will swatch out these Gansai paints. I'll zoom you guys in a little bit. There we go. I will attempt to read out the names, but I apologise for not being able to pronounce them all correctly. I'm going to put a few drops of water on each one before we get started. They do reactivate really quickly, so you don't actually have to do this, but there we go. Okay, so starting with this green in the top left, this is number 35, and I think it's pronounced Saidu or Saidu. It's a lovely sort of bright mid green. And then we have number 51, which is called Komidori. It's a very sort of blue-green colour. Then we have this orange, which is number 54, Araishu, I think. Followed by number 9, Yuku, I think. So it's a lovely sort of bright pinky red. And then we have number 41, Botan, or Botan. This one is like a yellow ochre. Then we have number 213 Komugi Iro. It's a lovely sort of magenta purple colour. And then we have number 139 Honai. This is almost like a Payne's grey type, very blue leaning dark. And then finally we have number 220 Ruri Iro, which reads like a phthalo blue. So it's a very bright sort of basic colour palette, but I quite like it. It was the most of the different varieties that they had available, the different decades they had. There were others that I liked as well, but I felt like as my first one, this would be the most versatile sort of set. And yes, that's why I picked the 1940s. And yeah, so that's those. They look fairly true compared to the pan. I'd say this one, the Honai, the Komugi Iro and the Komidori are fairly transparent. They look really dark in the pans and it's quite hard to tell what their true colour is, whereas the others look fairly close to, maybe even the blue as well is very transparent because that's quite dark in the pan compared to here. But all in all, lovely paints. I love working with the Kuretake Gansai paints that I have, so I look forward to getting to play with these some more as well. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I will have links below to where you can purchase these various different supplies. If I can find links for them, they will be down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys again soon. Alright, take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye!